Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be a Shop My Stash. What that means is, it's actually not me, it's Brandon. I had Brandon go through the drawers of my vanities and tell me what he thinks I haven't been using, what I've been neglecting, or products that he just thinks are too good to be ignored. So I've used all of them for today's tutorial I can't speak. Anyway, if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload twice a week, and that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I did ask Brandon to pick out like everything for me to use. So I'm going to start with the ColourPop Crystal Priming Spray. This was the Amethyst Spray. It is a hydrating priming mist. I love the way this smells, but I never reach for priming mists. And to layer that up, I was given the Cooling Matte Peach Primed in Peachy Too Faced Primer. I find that this is actually really good for keeping my oils at bay throughout the entire day. Now for foundation, I actually was given two. I was given the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour and the MAC Studio Fix, both of which are ride or die foundations for me that I'm in love with, but I haven't used in a very long time. So I'm going to take a little bit of both of these on my beauty blender. I'm going to do probably like a pump and a half of each, and I'm going to blend those together. Now the one thing I'm seeing already, I love this primer for like mattifying. However, I like to take something a little more pore filling when I am using it. So I am seeing a little more pores than I typically like to see, but nothing I can really do about that on a day like today where Brandon has already picked what I'm going to be using. For concealer today, I'm going to be going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter in Light Neutral. This is another one of those concealers that I do really like. However, there's just so many more that I like more. Like, obviously, Tarte Shape Tape. I've also really been enjoying the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. It's got a really long name. And before I blend out my concealer, as always, I like to prep my powder ahead of time. This is the Dermablend Professional Loose Setting Powder that I have been using forever. This used to be a huge staple on my channel, and then I kind of stopped using it, and I honestly couldn't tell you why. So I'm going to blend and then set with that powder. So while that is baking a little bit, and it is looking quite pale, I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Medium Brown, which ever since I discovered the Milk makeup product, honestly, I don't think I've used this since. And I'm going to set that down with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with the brow products from Anastasia. However, for me personally, I feel like this was twice as much work, and I don't like the product as much as I would have using my regular brow stuff. So I'm just going to sweep off all of the baking powder. So for bronzer, I was given the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light Bronze, which is definitely an appropriate shade for me in the winter, but I haven't used this in so long. The smell is definitely bringing me back though. And to contour, a product I think I've used all of like 3 times. This is the Studio Pro Contour Palette from BH Cosmetics. I'm going to dip into the 2 cooler toned shades down here and contour. And then I do like to just go in with a fluffier brush and just kind of blend that a little bit into the bronzer, just so that it's not like a harsh stripy line on the face. And I have been taking my contour a little bit higher up lately just because I find that it does kind of help to lift the cheekbones a little bit more. And I'm going to go into this shade right here just to brighten up the under eye. And I'm actually going to take that same shade and I'm just going to clean up under the contour. And then, as the first level of setting the face, MAC Fix Plus, which honestly I feel like I've been neglecting. Okay, now that the skin is kind of set down a little bit, I'm going to go into blush. And this is Pearlescent Pink, the Color Icon blush from Wet n Wild that you might have seen my brother destroy in the Brother Does My Makeup video, which I'm going to link up here right now. That was definitely a hell of a day. And for highlight, I was very grateful that Brandon did give me two. I'm going to start off with Peach Goddess from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which once upon a time was like the only thing I used. See how pretty that is? I know that this is not by any means a natural highlighter. However, this tone on my complexion is like the most natural I feel like I'll ever do. And for my second highlighter, because he does know I love to stack them, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Loose Highlighter from the Goth collection. It was called Moon Tears. And I'm going to take a tiny bit and just amp up the cheekbones. For a $4 highlighter, like, do you see this right now? I am living. So for eyeshadow, I was given the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette that I reviewed a very long time ago. This is, unfortunately, though, an all shimmer palette. So I'm going to be dipping into some of the neutral shades from the contour palette and using those as eyeshadows today. And I was given the Urban Decay Primer Potion to use on my eyes today, which I do not like and do not know why I still have in my collection. So I'm just going to grab the Urban Decay Primer Potion and throw in some of my neutral shades before we go into the Urban Decay palette. Okay, so the basic eye look is done. I'm just gonna grab a couple shades out of this puppy. So I'm gonna start by taking Aluminum up here, and I'm going to put that on the very center and outer portion of the lid. Then I'm going to go into Glamrock, which is a much lighter silver. And I'm hoping that you see the contrast. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner. It's a little frostier. It's definitely not a huge difference on camera, but in person, it's a little more bright. So I'm just going to blend where those colors meet together. And on a fluffy brush, I'm going to go into Ground, which is a very dark, like almost charcoal. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit of that to the outer portion of the eye, just to add a little bit of that definition back in. And on a pencil brush, I'm going to take Ground again, and I'm just going to kind of load up the lower lash line. I'm going to go back into that Wet n Wild powder, and I'm going to highlight the brow bone and the inner corner. So this look screams for lashes, but I was not given any. I was given the Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara. So I'm just going to grab my lash curler and throw some of this on. So the last time I used this mascara, I absolutely hated it because at the time I had no lashes, so I didn't think it did enough. Now that I actually have lashes of my own thanks to the Grande Lash Serum, I am not hating this mascara. For setting spray, I was given the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Long Lasting Matte Finish Setting Spray, and the bottle is wet, so I would love to know why this is leaking. I swore by this for a minute, and then I guess whether just the placement of where it was in the drawer or I was trying some other things, I put it down. So I'm going to use this today. It's not broken. So my camera started shutting off as I started talking about the lipstick product. So I did throw on Jeffree Star's Mannequin. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a red look or a nude. Brandon did give me two options. But he is here behind the camera, and he is telling me that I'm getting approval for this. Or do you want me to go red?
I like nude.
Nude? Gotcha. So, all in all, quick rundown. There's nothing here that I think I don't like enough that I would never use again. The things that I think are popping out at me, obviously the highlighters. Like, this is so blinding that I'm in love with it. I am going to say that using this as a Fix Plus substitute to foil the eyeshadows, like, are we seeing the same foil on my eyes right now? The foundation combo I think was really good, but again, those are ride or dies. The powder, nothing special. I mean, I remember loving it, but honestly, I think I like my Airspun more. All in all, I will link everything down below so you can look at the products, but I think I like it. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye!